All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Run! Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and podcast. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Podcast. Let's get to the podcast with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
I can't even do it.
That's a strong.
Yeah. Now I wonder if they're going to use that music again because that was only in 2, or did they use it in
Oh no,
the
they
later
used
ones?
it. Yeah, well,
Okay, but it was originally
it's like the
in 2.
Predator
It wasn't in the
thing
original.
where they kind of like sprinkle it.
Yeah, because it wasn't in the original Terminator. If I remember properly, that was the music.
That's from
the,
Terminator 2.
But it
Terminator
became the
2.
theme music
Yeah.
for all the films.
I
Did
don't
it?
know what the music
Yeah,
is
I
in
think
the
so.
original.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think it became like a theme music
Love
in
that
the
original.
film, but they've used other
Okay.
music.
But it's
to
known as the
promote
T2
film.
theme song. Yeah, and we're doing it because
Terminator,
Terminator.
Dark Fate.
Terminator Dark Fate. They
Not
released
just
the
Dark
trailer.
Fate, but with James Cameron again.
Producing, not
yeah.
directing,
Producing,
but
yeah,
producing.
there.
Yep.
Let me
And it was
clarify
involved in the
myself.
story. No, it's good. And then Linda Hamilton's back as Sarah
Yeah,
Connor.
she looks great, yeah.
Arnold's back as either the human version that
She
they based
looked like
everything off of,
Arnold.
or the Terminator.
So this doesn't connect to the last one that came out with Daenerys.
Daenerys.
Daenerys and
Amelia
John
Clarke.
McClane's son.
Yeah, John Courtney. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, or older Terminator in that movie.
Yeah, Arnold was in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
It doesn't connect to that. This is a direct sequel to Terminator 2. It does not acknowledge any of the other films.
This just reminded me that I haven't seen Pet Sematary because the guy that plays the bad guy, Jason Clarke, is in Pet Sematary,
Well,
and I haven't seen it yet.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert, bad guy, he plays John Connor.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a spoiler? I don't know. The movie came out like 5 years ago.
I know, you have to have seen it though.
I saw it.
Have
It
you
was
seen it?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. did
I
see-
like Genesis personally.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I
that
enjoyed
bad.
it.
It wasn't
I'm that
bad.
kind of guy. I don't know why I cannot get into this negative view of movies. I can't do it. I'm so glad I can't do it, but I cannot get negative about these movies. I can be like, I wish they
You
maybe
just don't
did
watch
something
bad
better.
movies. You gotta watch bad
Dude,
movies.
I watch bad movies, and I
No.
see that. No, the difference is
You gotta watch the Cougar Cult on Netflix,
You
where
saw-
it's like
you
the
showed me
CG
this.
is like a JPEG over this lady's face as she morphs into a cougar, and I'm like,
Don't
wow.
do that. It's literally
it's
like
these
the
older
work.
ladies that seduce young men, but they physically turn into cougars, like the animal, the cat, and then they eat them instead of like
Are you binging Twilight? Or
He
some
showed
shit?
me a scene from this movie.
I don't even. I think I was at a friend's house, like, and we were looking for like horror movies or whatever, and
Yeah.
there was like all these B movies,
Yeah.
and then we're like, oh,
But
Cougar
nobody
Cult,
watches
let's check
that.
out.
Nobody watches that and thinks it's actually good. It's more of just so bad it's fun to watch. That's a different category. I'm talking about these people who watch these Game of Thrones or watch Terminator, Genesis or whatever,
Yeah.
and just go, that sucked. That was terrible. Like they have like a bad experience. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like they were hurt by it in some way, and I'm like, I don't understand that feeling. I watch
Yeah, I
it
don't.
and I go, that was good. Now sometimes I'm not like, it was great, it blew me away, but that's fine. Like I don't
But
need
it's
that from every
constant.
movie. There's so much content and so many movies out there. I'm okay. I don't need to feel like
Some people
blown away
just
every
can't
time.
handle. I think it's a human error because I think a lot of people cannot handle when thing goes to like super high standard.
Yeah.
And then it just levels off. People can't handle that. People feel like it always has to be at
Yeah,
up
people
here at
want,
this
like,
climax
they want
all
to
the
find-
time. Like it's
It needs
not
to be the
like that.
highest level of
Yeah,
art. It needs to be
it
the most
doesn't work that way.
unpredictable, breaking the model, but no tropes whatsoever. The greatest acting of all time, Daniel Day-Lewis.
They all want the Matrix.
It's literally like
Because
saying it's
the Matrix climax is like right in the
Yeah.
last 5 minutes of that movie,
Yeah.
and then
That movie's crazy.
You're just like on a high until the credits,
And it doesn't feel like anything. When it came out, it didn't feel like anything else you would ever see, either
Yeah.
in visual effects, in story, in what was
Oh,
going
a
on.
lot of shit
in
happens
fighting.
between the beginning of that movie and the final moments of that
final
movie.
film,
but the
yeah.
final moments are like,
Yeah.
I go back and rewatch
Yeah.
it. all
Or the Lord of the
time.
Rings movies felt very different than anything else that had come before, even though they were based on books. That was like
Yeah.
something that you were
Yeah.
not. So everybody wants, it seems like they want that kind of stuff from every movie experience. I'm like, calm down. Like,
Yeah.
you might need therapy. You might need to just take a deep
Yeah.
breath.
I don't know.
shoot yourself
No,
in the fucking
problem
face.
is that they all have a voice now. That's the problem.
That's
No,
everybody has.
We are old.
I was opposite. I was like, no, this is great, man. All these people that don't have a voice now have a voice, and now that they've had a voice for like 15 years, I'm like, oh, that was a mistake.
We
Take
need-
their
It's not that
voice
they have a
away.
We need to
voice.
take the
Take
voice
it
away.
away.
Take
It's
it
not
away.
that they all want to keep saying something.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You can't have a fucking film like, let's say it's a film of a murder where the guy goes and the climax of the film is when the murderer stabs the person. The rest of the film can't fucking be the guy just re-stabbing the person
Right.
on and on because that just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
It's
you
true,
know.
yeah. It's
So-
hard. It's hard. You know, you got to write a nice, write a film and have it so it has like its ebbs and its
Yeah.
flows.
Yeah.
You know, its highs and its lows.
It's hard because filmmaking has you can't keep doing the same formula, the same thing over and over. That is true,
Yeah.
you know. And when people take risks, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But what I feel like it is the feeding frenzy with social media. I don't even think people necessarily have. I'm not saying this is a general statement, but I feel like sometimes people aren't having their own idea, their own experience. They're looking at it through the eyes. And I understand the feeling where you're looking at it through the eyes of what other people are going to think. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
watch something and let's say it's, for instance, not politically correct. You instantly go, oh, wow, people are going to be offended by this. And then you go, I'm offended by this. I'm like, that's an interesting leap. You couldn't just go, wow, that was crazy. You had to go, other people are probably going to feel weird about this. And now I feel weird about this. And it's this weird thing, and I might just be projecting, but I think that's what happens.
That's what Bob Iger didn't he say something
Yeah.
similar? And
Yeah.
social media creates this like mass agreement where everybody all
You
starts
think
operating
everybody
the
has
same
that idea.
way, and everybody thinks the same way. And
It's
it's
the
not
group
true.
mentality. It's
It's
you
the mob
you read it
mentality,
in
yeah.
psychology
Kind of
books.
like a mob.
It's called the group mentality.
Totally.
Where one person does something, then two people does something, then it multiplies. It
Yeah.
just becomes this group
And
mentality.
everybody wants to
people
think
can't
they're
break
not
off of
the-
it. It's really interesting.
Everybody wants to think they're not the sheeple, right? They're not the people who are just like being
they're sheeple.
manipulated. Most people fucking are.
Yeah.
Even we probably fucking, and we're the
Whoa, whoa,
highest
whoa.
standard of men
I'm
and,
the one
and women.
that's- I'm the one that thought Avatar wasn't that good, so I'm
You
clearly
loved
not a
it until you
sheeple.
found out. No, you're the exact example of that. You literally
You know
thought
what?
it
yeah,
was good,
because you
and
just
then
talked
you read
about
how
it. You
people
brought it
like
up.
it.
You brought it up.
You're a problem.
You
Yeah, look,
just brought
you're
it. You're
part
a
of the
product,
problem.
bro.
You know when I realized
You're a
Avatar was
product.
good? When I went to Disney World to Pandora and I rode that crazy ass ride that they have there, and
Flight
I was
of the
like, "Oh, this shit was a good movie because this ride is fucking insane."
You're
So,
literally the worst.
If you didn't like Avatar, go to
you
Disney
product,
World and
you.
ride that ride. You'll like
Anyways, the
Avatar.
point being, we're some crotchety old fucking men here, just like
Are you
ranting and raving
advertising
about
for
these millennials.
Avatar right now?
I'm promoting Disney World.
Are you? Are you?
Any chance I can get.
Yeah, you're like fucking praising Bob Iger, talking
Or
Disney
Universal
World.
Studios.
I'm
They're
wondering
both- they're both good.
who's writing your paychecks. No, so
They don't have to pay me anything. I'm a member.
Okay.
I've drank the Kool-Aid.
So we're getting into the topic now. We had all these trailers drop this week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
We're going to talk about 3 specific ones. Maybe we'll tag on the Gemini Man at the end. But Terminator Dark Fate. Let's talk about that first. Yes, exactly.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. It's interesting. I do have, I hate to be negative about this stuff. The
Literally,
only
we
thing,
just had this whole
no,
conversation.
no. It's not going to ruin my experience. I'm
tell
going to
me what
like
I
the.
just
I
talked about.
bet I'm going to like the movie. The only thing is that I'm a little like, ugh, but I'm okay, and I'll tell you why I'm okay with it. It's the scene when it's the Terminator guy and Mackenzie Davis, who looks awesome in the film, by the way. And I
Yeah,
loved her.
she looks
Blade Runner
fantastic,
2049, Halt and Catch Fire. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She was in that San Junipero episode.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner 2049. So, but
Oh, you
that's-
already said that.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry.
Sure did.
I missed the Blade Runner. All I heard was 2049. I was like, what's
Yeah,
that?
but that
movie?
scene in this trailer, which by the way is a teaser trailer, so we don't really know what's going on in this story.
Yeah.
This 2.5-minute fucking trailer is considered a teaser
a lot of
trailer.
like slow scenes.
Yeah, we don't really know what the narrative is, but that scene where she's fighting the guy in the other truck, I liked how the spike thing went by his head, and then he forms out to the other clone of himself.
No, but
almost.
it's like
Well, he didn't. It looked like he absorbed what it was.
Yeah, and
to
then created
form-
another one. But
create
it's another one because
yeah.
he's still in the driver's seat as well. Now,
Now
I
it's
like that.
the liquid on top of the skeleton. They've never had that. Have they had that? Maybe they did in Genesis.
Genesis had some they all had different ones. It's interesting. They all kind of
you
did
had the
something different.
T2000.
T1 million.
This is like a
that's-
nano
The
type of-
T1000.
That was
Yeah.
the
was
original.
original.
Yeah, Robert
T2000
Hager.
was liquid.
Yes.
Was that T2000 was her name? You were talking
I-
about Terminator Rise of the Machines.
Or maybe she was the 2000.
Yeah.
So
Maybe,
she
I
was
don't
like
remember what-
solid
what
and
the-
liquid. Oh, so they did
Yeah,
do that. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
They
yeah.
Do we really
done
have
this.
to
I
go
haven't
back to
seen that.
iPad 1 and iPad 2?
I haven't seen.
But my only
yeah, who was that chick?
the only
actually, in-
she's
in
a
Terminator 3?
Christina Loken or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what happened to her?
She's around, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, but in this, the only thing was like when he jumps out with the thing and comes at her, it's so CG.
It is.
And
It
it's
is
that
very
it's that
CG.
type of CG that really turns me off. They did it back in
And
the Matrix movies, the later Matrix
The Mummy
movies.
Returns,
Yeah.
where they had The Rock as a half scorpion, half
Yeah,
man, and it was like
I
The
don't
Rock
like that
doing
stuff.
Can
Now-
you smell what The Rock's cooking?
Now, there was a movie that did this in the last year or two that I really, really liked, which was Deadpool 2. They had some CG like that, but because that movie was so good, I didn't.
CG with like a
I just
normal
rewatched
human.
that.
Yeah, and
Not a
yeah,
fantastic-
it's like,
Rewatch
yeah,
that.
yeah. There was some of the scenes where they had the truck thing and the
Yeah.
thing going, and even at the end,
I think
with
it's because of the slow motion.
Because it wasn't well, it's because it wasn't a serious film, and it
was
played
such a
into
good
the-
film, too.
Yeah, it was such a
And
good
they had
film,
the
and it
emotional
played
elements.
into. It's a quirky film. It's
Yeah.
a fun film, and that wasn't like a bad thing to be in it.
Right.
Where
But-
this is like straight out serious.
Yeah.
So
Drama,
it might
yeah.
not.
that's what fucked me up. And what I love about
You know what's really
all the Terminator
upsetting
movies,
is these stuntmen aren't risking their lives anymore. They're all worried about dying and shit. Some guy could have actually filmed that scene.
I know, god damn it, right?
yeah,
what I'm
and they're not
saying?
getting paid, also, bro.
Watch the making of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Harrison Ford is like hanging off the side of a truck going 30 miles an hour down a dirt road. I'm like,
stunt
he
double,
did that
man.
shit?
Did you see the making
Stunt
of?
double.
Did you see the
What?
making?
Stunt double.
Was that stunt double?
Yeah, that's
Of-
totally something.
Did you see the making of?
Solo outside a truck going 80
He
miles
did
an hour.
some of that shit.
Did you see the making of the second to last episode of Game of Thrones? How they had the biggest burning of people? Like
No,
ever in
no.
cinema?
The most people on fire.
Most people on fire, which was 26. I think it was 26 or 29.
That's scary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
All
too
at
many
the same
people.
time.
That means
All
you have
at
to
the
pay
same
attention
time.
to each one
No,
and
you
make
have
sure
to have
they're
like
safe.
2 or 3 like safety people.
Two or
like
three, you
assigned
need
to
more.
each
No, no, no,
person.
no, 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 no,
assigned
no,
to
no.
each person.
They had like everybody. Like if you watch the making of it,
Yeah.
Once they yelled cut, everybody plus the directors plus the cinematographers ran in with what do you call it? Fire extinguisher.
extinguishers, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody ran in.
I remember that was a big thing when they did the like previous season when Drogon came and blasted a whole bunch
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
They had all these people on fire. They set all these people on
Yeah.
fire because it was a big like whoosh
It was
of
bigger than
flame
that.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
It was.
So that CG in the Dark Fate trailer that it threw me off because I don't like that. Like that's been used a few
I
times.
noticed
don't
it, and I just let it
no,
go.
No, but here's what. But then I was like, okay, well, they did it in Deadpool 2, and I fucking love that movie. Like that movie, really, I don't know why it'd be in my top 5 list of that year, which I think was last year it came out.
Yeah.
I would definitely put that. So I'm like, okay, I can be okay if it's a great movie. I'm okay with that. It's a little bit because it's Terminator. And it's supposed to be going back to the first two, and the first two didn't do that. The only CGI was the second movie with T-1000, but that was
Yeah,
okay
but you've
because he was
had
liquid
3
metal.
films since then
No,
that
but
are all
I'm
CGI.
trying to think. I know, but that dampened it a little bit. Whereas my favorite film, okay, I love Terminator 2, and I think I love it on equal footing with the Terminator, the first one. And there's no CGI in that. I really love that original. I don't think you
You're
understand
obsessed
how.
with this
You
original.
want to say that
one.
again?
I love that original. No,
He
there's
said this
not-
multiple
said it
times.
multiple
before.
times within 1
every time we
minute.
talk about Terminator, I always bring that. No matter any conversation, somebody goes
Are you
Terminator 2.
sure
I'm
it's
like,
not
yeah,
just
but that
Linda
first one-
Hamilton?
Oh, I get it.
Say Terminator.
Yeah, maybe.
This guy.
No, because I actually liked her character better than the second one, but I love the gritty indie feel of that original one. You know what I mean? The second
Yeah.
one's more of a blockbuster. The first one's like a contained. It's all done a lot of night
Sci-fi
Like a
shots.
horror movie.
It is crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
like
And
a
the
thriller
soundtrack to that
horror.
one, actually, like there is a lot more of that, like almost Blade Runner-esque, like 80s sci-fi. Like I loved it.
It's that
Anyway.
Roger Corman music.
Not really Roger Corman. Come on. But anyways, Terminator 2, it had CGI, sure, but it was all in T-1000 pretty much. So, and that made sense
And it
because he
was
was liquid
groundbreaking.
metal.
It was
Yeah.
like,
it was
you'd never
groundbreaking.
seen
It
it.
still looks great. But everything else was physical. Like it was real live. When he's getting shot up and he's blowing cars up, that's all really happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's
Yeah.
no jumping through the air, slow motion, total. That's the CGI figure right now. That's not a real guy. I don't like that. Like I can't stand it. But they did it in Deadpool 2, and I love that movie, and so I forgave those parts of it. So I think
I don't know. Apparently, there's some. I read this article where the transition and the trend, was that a transition of
Trend.
I guess like the trend, yeah, of doing the CG stuff for all the stunt scenes as opposed to having like a live actor or
Safer.
stuntman doing it. It's like the number of injuries
I know,
on
I get
set
it,
has
I
like
get it.
dropped
I get
dramatically
it.
over like the last 20 years.
So has paychecks.
I think it's only going to get worse. You're going to get to a point where you don't even, stuntmen are going to be doing
I-
cartwheels because the actor doesn't want to do a cartwheel. Like shit.
The
like
thing
that.
is, I'm okay with
Well,
that. I'm okay
I don't
with
know
saving,
if that's
saving
true.
the stuntmen's lives and injuries. Like, I'm actually totally okay with that.
Yeah.
I just think you should cut the scene then. I don't think you should replace it with the CG that
I feel like
that are
James
in those
Cameron,
scenes.
though, in Terminator 2 was like, I don't care if anyone dies. Like, I'm making my movie.
It's
So
true.
that's why
You almost killed Ed
extreme-
Harris in the Abyss. Come on.
Yeah, well, he didn't almost.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Ed
know,
Harris
he
almost
did.
killed himself. He
I know. He didn't do it right or something.
I think he fucked up. He was
Yeah.
supposed to, but that is a crazy story. Actually, we should
is
talk.
I don't
about
think CG's. I think when it comes to stunt doubles,
Yeah.
they're stepping up their games. I mean, we
They
see
are. I
that
don't
in
want them to be out
John
of a
Wick.
job, yeah.
We see that in a lot of
They're
other films.
incredible.
There's just a lot of stepping up. I think in a way there's like a fight back against. Nah, you don't need that in CG. I got this. I'll jump off this building.
But you can't have him jump from car to car like in. Well, I mean, Mad Max Fury Road did some crazy
You
shit. There was
can't,
like no
yeah.
CG with those
Yeah, and
practical.
like
It was
watch,
rope.
you
Yeah,
watch like
it was-
going back to the
That's what I want
Matrix,
them to
like
do.
the Matrix, like Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and Carrie Ann Moss, like spent like 2 or 3 months like learning
Yeah.
martial arts just
Yeah.
so they could shoot scenes. Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
now we're gonna start seeing movies where actors are like, and when they start doing karate or kung fu, it like switches into some CG version of them
Yeah.
doing some fake,
Which is
CG
what they
shit.
do a lot of these times.
I'm like.
not a lot of these times, but that's been
There's some-
done. I
yeah,
don't
there's
like
something
it.
about that connection that you have as an audience, knowing that the person you're seeing on screen was video doing the thing they're doing.
Yes.
That's something that actually connects. Like you can, even if the CG is like pristine, you know whether it was CG or if
You
it was
know
a
the
real
difference between
person.
real-
Like, you can just perceive it.
Yeah, well,
I
no,
think
we
they
walk
just
through
haven't-
life. We walk through life. We know there's that little nuance, and they're trying to recreate what human life is, and we know human life because we're doing it right now. We're looking at each other. So when you try to recreate that in a computer, it's going to be a little
I'm
off.
sorry.
We haven't gotten there
I'm
yet.
Tiego's
We haven't
clone.
gotten there.
Tiego's still in bed.
That would be amazing.
That'd be awesome, actually. If you ripped off your skin right now and
Now
just
you're
had a
like,
metal
"Wah."
exoskeleton under there, you're like, ah! What's up?
But
So-
that's what it is. It's that your ability and the audience's ability to
Yeah.
to notice the nuance difference between that all uncanny valley.
And they
thing,
usually
call
use it in more supernatural elements or like things that
Oh, I'm
humans
okay with
can't
it when
do.
it's like something I'll never see in my
well,
life.
and that is what they're doing in this trailer, but I don't think they should have put it in the trailer. Like
No,
literally,
I'll see a guy jump from one truck, pickup
Yeah.
truck into another truck. Like,
I mean,
that's
but do
not
you
an
think?
unreal thing
I mean,
to see.
I know
Maybe
you
not
said they
the
should
way
have
they
put it
do
in the
it-
trailer,
liquefying.
The
but
way
do you
they
think
do
they
it
should
is-
just they let you
Not put
know
it in the trailer.
what they are doing within the film instead of being surprised later at the theater and going, "Oh man."
yeah, I think people want to see the
I'm
story.
okay with that.
I see,
That-
show me the story.
but that
in the
scene-
trailer.
But this
They-
is a teaser. This is a fucking long teaser.
I'm
but
saying
this
just
is
cut that
a
one
teaser.
part out where he's
No, they-
jumping like this and he throws it and she's like, and it all looks so CG. I'm like, take that one part out of the trailer and I wouldn't be saying this right now. Like I would
it's
be
a
fine.
teaser.
And just don't show me the bad CGI. Like I don't. It's
But
it's a bummer. It's
you
all
know
I'm
what-
saying.
you
is
know
I'm
what
like,
they-
I just didn't want to feel
In
that
Lethal
way.
Weapon 4, they filmed that. Mel Gibson is in that
that
house
house
or whatever with
thing
the
with the
plastic,
plastic?
and he like goes through the front and
That's
has to
crazy.
jump out off like the roof
great.
of that car onto
James
another car.
Bond.
Looks great.
Yeah, and Keanu Reeves did it in Speed. So
James
they could have
Bond.
filmed a real guy in slow motion. James Bond did it. He jumped off that train onto the
So
other.
many do
That was
it.
so awesome. Like,
That's what I'm saying. They didn't
I'm like,
need to
how
do
did
that.
I still want to know?
Now I
Like,
get it. They're both Terminators, so you try to justify. I try to justify that for the Matrix sequels. I try to be like, oh well, they're
Yeah,
in the
oh,
Matrix,
God.
so it's
Yeah.
a computer. So okay, they
that
turned
was
the
the
computer.
biggest. That was the worst part. Like if they had just tweaked the story a little bit,
But
just a little bit,
but that really didn't help.
and didn't do that Keanu Reeves CG thing.
yeah.
And Mr.
Really
Smith
bad.
CG.
They did it in Blade 2.
It was the wrong time.
I know.
It was the wrong time.
You know, they do it. I don't understand why they
Like,
think it's been 15 years since that film and they're still doing that shit in the
They're
movies.
still
I'm
doing
like,
it, yeah.
who's
Peter
paying these
Jackson
guys to
knew
do
in Lord
that?
of the Rings, he's like, I'm gonna do that CG shit, but they're gonna be tiny little dudes running on the
Yeah.
screen where there's like millions of them, like
Yeah.
running around. I'm not gonna do any close-ups of these ugly motherfuckers. Like we're not there yet.
yeah,
but
I really
he did
don't
do Gollum
believe
though. Gollum still works.
Yeah,
you
he does.
rewatch
Yeah.
that shit.
It helps
you
that
know.
he's not
But you
human.
have no
It's like
other
2002.
But see, that's the thing. You have nothing comparable.
Yeah,
to
there's no reference. He's not a
There's
human.
No reference.
If he's a
yeah.
It's
human-
still like the animation and like the body motion like seems like a realistic thing. Like,
And that's motion. That's
There's only like
that's
a few
mocap.
moments where
that's
I'm
mocap.
like,
It makes a difference. Mocap makes a
that's
difference
true.
too.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is like I really believe if James Cameron was directing this film, we would not have that scene. I really don't believe it because he's not done
What do you
anything
mean?
that looks like-
Avatar is riddled with scenes like
But
that.
it's not humans like that. Like it's and no,
Oh.
they're not riddled with scenes like that. Come on.
What do you mean? There's a scene where what's his name? The main guy, John something.
I forget his name.
Richard Parker.
Sam Worthington.
Yeah, Sam Worthington.
Richard Parker. That's Life
Richard
of Pi.
Paca. Yeah,
Richard
Life of
Paca.
Pi. That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Watch Life of Pi. I've never seen it.
Yeah. CG Tiger.
There's a scene where he's like jumping over a tree branch or a tree stump or whatever, and he like hops and it goes into slow motion, and he's like got a spear.
Yeah,
and
that
he's
looks
gonna
good
throw
though.
it. But I guess because
It
it's
looks
something you've never
different.
seen. It's a 10
They've
foot
done
tall
it in
So
so
made
many
it in an
cat
environment
thing.
that doesn't look familiar. Like you could do it in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
Those are two
It's done.
humans looking like
Honestly,
humans.
now we're talking about it. It's overused. They did an Aquaman.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying I didn't like that.
Stop
'cause
the
I'm
jumping,
like,
people.
I want it to be different. But either way, let's talk about what was good in the trailer.
If you're a
There were-
Terminator, you should have fucking got out and walked to the car
I
in front
loved
of
seeing
you.
Sarah Connor come
I
out
like
like
that.
a badass.
The first time I watched it, I
She
liked
looked
that
like-
reveal
yeah.
where
If
she
you
like
look at
blocks
that
it with
scene-
her flesh or whatever.
If you look at that scene, that reminds me of Terminator when Arnold Schwarzenegger jumps out with a gun.
Very stoic and everything like that.
Yeah.
He's like pop, 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 because she's like she doesn't look like she's phased by it.
No.
Well, I like
Sarah
that
Connor.
she says she's human, and it's like, oh, so did they basically?
Government
They now
makes sense,
figured
yeah.
out how to like.
So that's
Well,
my
salvation.
question.
That's like salvation.
That's
Just that
my
he thought he was
question.
human. Sam Worthington again, who's an Avatar. He is a.
But
is
he
a
was like
Terminator
an agent that was sent in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
they-
he thought
they
he was
just-
human.
Yeah.
That was the only way they thought he could like trick the humans, is that they would create an AI or whatever robot that thought he was
Infiltration.
human.
Right, so we don't know if she's like bionic or something like that in this movie because she's like, you're one of them, but she's like, no, you're not human. And
But wait,
she's like, I am
this movie is the direct sequel to Terminator 2.
Yes.
So it ignores
all
everything.
that
So we
stuff.
can't
That's what I'm
take
thinking. It
anything
has
from
elements-
But
those.
it could borrow from them their concepts of like Sam Worthington's thing where he's a robot or he's a Terminator but doesn't realize he's a Terminator. He didn't
Yeah.
discover that until they opened him up.
Maybe they lied to James Cameron just to get him in there. It's like, yeah, it had nothing to do with
No,
the
he
other
was
two.
the one who because he has the rights to the stories again, so he had to
I think
approve
they
this.
needed his, yeah.
They needed it,
His
and he
approval.
went over the story. I think he even gave did a draft of the screenplay. I think you look, it's or story was by him, treatment maybe. Anyways,
It pulls
Tim
from the other
Miller's doing
films.
it, who did Deadpool. I don't know. I think it'll be good. It's just I like Sarah Connor. I like Mackenzie Davis's.
This
like,
is why we shouldn't watch any teasers or
I just
trailers
wish they wouldn't have put
before
that
the
in
movie.
there. I don't know. I just wish they wouldn't.
But
have
everybody
put
was
that in
down on Aladdin. Like when they released that teaser, everyone was like, "Oh
there.
my god!"
They were
the
really
blue
down.
genie,
No, because they started with those
oh!"
Entertainment Weekly promo photos. That was the reveal. I was like, who fucking thought this was a good idea to start with that? This well lit studio photos of the thing. I'm like,
No, but
do
the teaser came out, and then it wasn't even a trailer. It wasn't
But
until
it was
like a month before.
But it was
that
it was
the
it was
full
falling
trailer
on
came out.
that misstep. Like, you know what I mean? It came after those photos came out, so people were so fucked up and shitting on it. Then you come out with that afterwards. I like the teaser that came out, but it's the full trailer that really got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a bad rollout. Anyways, Terminator Dark Fate. I think it's going to be great. I really do think it's going to. I want to see what Arnold Schwarzenegger's role is exactly. I don't know if he's a human or if he's a Terminator.
That was the questionable part. Right
Because Terminator 2, it ended with him going down with the thumbs up into the lava. So I don't understand. Is like that? So it can't be
Oh,
him.
you're
I think
right,
it's the
yeah.
human. It must be the human because he wouldn't
Yeah.
have survived that, and they wouldn't have sent another one back. And they've done that too many times. Terminator Salvation made it seem like all the Terminators looked like him. Remember, they went into the factory or whatever.
Yeah.
So they made
like
it
he
seem-
was the mold.
Yes, exactly. But that mold would have been based on a human, and we've been wanting
Well,
that for a long time.
just remember, we do have time travel,
That is true.
so we could they can do whatever they want.
I'm wondering what Dark Fate means. Like, is it just like a title, or does it like mean something?
It means that
Is it-
humanity's dead and
It's
the AI is going to
inevitable.
win.
God,
Inevitable.
I really
Is it
want it to be as
inevitable?
good as those first two. Ooh, I hope so.
I doubt it.
I mean, but even
See,
both
here we
those
go.
first two
See, this is the
end
thing,
with
you
no.
have those
there's
standards.
like
You can't
a
hope-
little bit of hope, but not really.
In the end of the
You
first.
can't-
You
can't
know
have
that it's
standards.
going
The
to
alternate,
happen.
the alternate ending had hope.
Oh, I don't remember the.
No, the end of
alternate.
of the second one had hope in both. You remember the alternate ending where she's sitting there as an old woman watching John Connor push his kid on the swing, so that means they survived. That's
Yeah,
the
but they
alternate
never-
ending.
that was-
they
he
never
didn't
put
release
that.
that.
He didn't release that, but even the other one's hopeful. They killed the only thing that would start Sky. They basically ended Skynet before.
But
The
then
thing
we
you're
had another
missing-
film.
The thing you're missing is that they sent the thing back in time. That means it happened. Just because they killed the
Oh,
thing
you're trying to get
in
into the
present
time travel
time,
theories and shit.
When you have time travel, you're fucked forever. It doesn't matter. Like the
there's
second
always
you
a
agree
chance.
that
There's
you
always a
can-
chance, is what you mean.
There's always a chance that some shit, some variation of like this new time path is going to lead to the exact same thing or something similar, and they'll send a motherfucker back, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, time travel's fun. I like my Back to the Future and Endgame,
This guy.
but you know,
Yeah.
you have to have that suspension of disbelief. You have to just let go and be like, fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be critical
Right.
because then
Yeah.
I'm going to lose.
I don't know if I don't know.
You
if
don't
I'm
know. You
excited.
need to see another trailer. And
No,
then
it's not
see-
even about the trailer. I don't know if I'm excited. I don't know why. I feel like
I was
just
excited.
been-
I watched it for the first time, and
Yeah.
I was like hyped because I said it
Good,
to you
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I'm
You
fucking
exclaimed.
hyped for this.
Yeah.
My
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is
like-
that I'm seeing.
I watched it on my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't-
I'm still hyped for the movie.
That's what you should have done. If you watched it on your phone, then CG guy didn't
I
look
watched it on
all
my phone.
CG.
No, it's not
Oh,
even
did you?
that. It's just I there's so many new stories out there that I'm watching that
Yeah.
I'm not that hype about Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer. Because he said he was
I'm
trying
not
to
putting it
talk
down.
about how the machines already won. Like that was James Cameron's concept for this movie. Was he's like, I want to explore the concept that the machines already won. We are attached, like the stuff in our pocket. Like this is a new world we live in. We've already we're slaves to the machine at this point with the devices in our pockets and AI, coming through.
Machine.
He's like, yeah, you are. So I was like, I like that. Like he wanted to explore that concept. I can't tell from this teaser that they're exploring that concept, but they probably are.
Yeah.
There must be something. Maybe there is no free will anymore. Like I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening because it's a teaser.
Creating my own theory with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was in the woods. Maybe this is why he was able to be changed into a machine because he didn't have
Is James Cameron telling us all to move into the mountains?
in the woods.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
build log cabins.
the colonel's gonna come by and be
Yeah.
like, "We need you back in the field. You're the only one who can do this mission."
can you go commando? Get it? Get it?
Commando,
Reference?
yeah, it's a Commando.
Yeah.
It's like Rambo.
Oh, I've never seen Commando.
No, the movie
you
Commando
saw it.
with Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger.
know, I
You
know.
can't
It's
say
like
Rambo. That's Sylvester Stallone.
No, but what I was saying was referencing those type of
But
movies.
that ruins my double pun.
He's not getting it. No, but that was my point. I was setting you up for that. My point was I was doing the Commando Rambo
No,
trope.
it was,
I want a
not getting it.
crossover
He's
where
not
like
getting it.
John
I'm
Rambo.
Neil, he's not getting it.
I'm not getting it.
I want a crossover John Rambo.
I was
and,
joking on the trope.
What's no?
Why
I
don't you
get
go
it.
like Commando? You need to go Commando again and start running, man.
Oh my god, dude.
What was
can't with him.
Arnold's name in
I
Predator?
can't with him. Fucking.
I feel like it's like
the
some
Dutch.
Dutch, yeah,
John Dutch, is it? Or
something like that.
It's always John.
It's always John, yeah. So I want to
Dutch,
see like
it's
John Rambo and John Dutch do like a crossover where those universes exist.
I don't think it's John.
in the same, or Dutch.
She
where they're
Sarah
like exist in
Connor.
the same world, and then Rambo fights like anti-Vietnam aliens or whatever, and then the Predators show up, and then they fight the Predators.
Sarah-
This is a great
Yeah.
mashup.
Sarah
right here.
Connor's first line when
needs
she
to
sees Arnold Schwarzenegger needs to be all of Arnold Schwarzenegger's film.
Wait, what?
You need to go Commando. You
Oh,
need
I haven't
total
seen
reco-
Commando.
Are you kidding me?
That's what I just
You
said.
just said it.
It's the one Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, it's probably more.
It's
Arnold
fun. It's
Schwarzenegger.
fun.
It's a great
fun movie.
film.
Alyssa Milano plays his daughter. She
Yeah.
gets kidnapped, and he has to go Commando.
When he
to
goes
save her
gun
home.
shopping,
It's
fuck
great. There's a whole plane scene.
Is this like early Arnold?
80
Like
it's
right after?
No, it's like right after Predator, I think.
Yeah.
No, it might be
Oh.
right. Yeah, it's right after Predator.
Okay.
It's a great film.
Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, we got to move on to the next one because we got 3 trailers we want to cover.
Yes.
So you want to do save the best for last and do Toy Story 4 next?
We can't save the best.
Yeah, let's do Toy Story
This
4.
guy,
Yeah, let's do
you
Toy
can't-
Story 4. 'cause
You
we
can't
do a short
predict.
one.
I feel like they showed a lot in this fucking trailer. I feel like they showed most of the movie. Do you feel that way? Because I feel like there was like funny moments that I'm like, God, I wish I had seen that in the movie and not.
Commando was before Predator, 85. I had a feeling it was 85. That's so it was
okay.
2 years before Predator.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably how he
A
got the
year
role
after
for
Terminator.
Predator. Because
Yeah,
of
it
that
was after
movie.
Terminator, though. It was between Terminator and Predator.
Yeah. Predator was what, 87?
Yeah. So go ahead. Toy Story 4. Yeah, it's.
It looks funny. It looks good.
It
I'm
looks
in.
like another Toy Story.
Toy Story 3 I didn't think was going to be good, and then it had like
was
this
amazing.
weird emotional thing where
was
they're
probably
like
the
going
best
to
one.
die,
It's
and like
probably
the
the best
kids
one.
are like grown up, and Andy's like an adult, and I'm like, oh yeah, age. Fuck.
Yeah, that was good. I
Getting
thought they
old.
ended it well.
They should have ended it there though.
But Toy Story 4, it makes sense.
It's Disney.
Bonnie's-
There's going to be a Toy Story like 27 when we're like
they
you
were
know,
closing the chapter,
old.
but it makes sense because they're all together with a new owner, so you could do a whole story on that. Like you could, like why not? But it does
They're
feel
immortal.
like,
Why do these toys get to be immortal
Yeah.
and we get old and die?
But
It's just the whole point is like I think Toy Story 3 ended it great, and
It had the
to do a
emotional connection.
Toy Story
Yeah.
4 that's just saying, are you just trying to sponge something studio? I'm gonna support the film because I love the story, but come on,
kids are gonna love it though. It's
no,
just another
once Disney
chapter.
got a,
But you see
a
the trend
controlling
here that I'm
stake in
trying to say?
Pixar, they're like they grab Pixar and they're like, you gotta do what the
It's
fuck
just-
we want.
it's just the
Pixar
point, like-
7 or whatever, Toy Story 7.
There's so many incredible new stories that you could go into that people are going into, and I'm kind of saying let these classics be classics.
But people like are screaming for sequels to shit like this.
Are they? Are
Yes,
they really?
That's why
They
Star Wars
are.
is
Who's
back.
screaming?
That's
People
why,
act like they don't. There are
dude,
petitions.
Lord of the Rings is getting $1 billion 5 seasons.
This world-
5 seasons they've committed to making for a show that no one even knows is going to be good. Like 5 seasons at $1 billion. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Dude,
outrageous.
But it's
Dude,
not a sequel.
dude.
It's
No, here's the thing.
I don't know if it takes place during the events.
This
takes
world,
place
this
before.
world is an oxymoronical dichotomy. Like these people
Yeah.
are. You always hear this outrage about sequels and reboots and remakes, and then all you hear is people asking for sequels, reboots, and remakes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who you people are. We can't get any sort
they
of
want it
agreement.
like
no, I
a
understand.
year
I totally
after.
understand that, but it's just like to me, it's like I think some things should be classic, and you should enjoy it as a classic.
Dude, classics don't
It-
exist
it
anymore.
doesn't-
Like,
they do. To me, they do.
dude,
Like,
Suicide Squad
Terminator's
came
a
out.
classic
Now they're
film.
rebooting it like 3 years later.
Like, I
that's
think-
insane to me.
But I think it's like Toy Story is like a classical emotional piece for me.
yeah.
It's and now
The first
you're
one for me
demeaning
is
that,
like,
doing
yeah.
more and more and more and more and more and more. You're just like you diluting the emotional value that it has to me by creating.
The fourth
more.
one does not look unique. It does just look like another chapter. Whereas the third one had a unique premise. This fourth one doesn't, except for like, maybe help
Dude, man.
handicapped kids or something. I don't know, because that Spork is supposed to looks like he's a little bit.
Dude, they got me, man. In that,
Something.
in that first movie,
Yeah, Sporky.
the Spork, yeah.
Yeah, he looks
In that
sporky.
first movie, when,
do like
when
that she
Buzz
made
is
it.
like, what did he say? No, Woody says, "You're flying, Buzz," or whatever.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they shoot off, and you think they're gonna die or whatever, and he's like, "I'm not flying, I'm falling." You guys know the line?
Yeah.
What's the rest of it?
Oh, I don't know.
With style.
With style, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I get choked up every time I watch
Yeah,
that scene.
I do remember
Fuck
that scene.
movie.
But fuck that movie. That's a compliment. So
Yeah.
the second movie was good, but the third movie really had this. I love the premise of that third Toy Story, and it really was emotional. It was this idea that he's now ready to go to college.
Yeah.
He's outgrown these toys.
Yeah.
What happens? That was a great premise.
Yeah.
It was a great way to end it. This fourth one, I get it. Why not? You can do these forever because they're just fun stories, and they're for kids mainly. So kids are gonna fucking love it.
Yeah, like the people that watched it when the original came out were probably young. Like,
That was 95. I was 9 years old when it came
yeah.
out. I love
So
it.
it's like, and now like your kids get to enjoy the fourth one.
Make
that comes
ones for
out.
this
Like,
generation,
you
because that
know,
original Toy
that's what it
Story,
is.
the CG's that animation's a little dated.
I kind of
It
like
is.
the
It
fact.
really is. The humans, Andy especially.
Oh
like,
God, it's
they're
yeah,
like.
that's bad.
No, I think it's stylistic.
Dude, no,
It
you gotta
is
watch it. Watch it
stylistic,
newly.
but-
Watch it newly though. If you watch those original ones, and especially if you compare it to the new Toy Stories, they're not very animated. They're very basic, and it's because it was the first one to
That
ever
shit
do
was
that.
like high tech.
It's
yeah.
very Jimmy Neutron.
Less,
I've never
less
seen
so.
Jimmy Neutron.
Less so.
You should.
It's
watch
like Reboot, but better. Remember Reboot?
yes,
They're rebooting
exactly.
Reboot.
Yeah.
They already did.
Oh, they did. It's
I
on
think
Netflix,
it's on
right?
now. Yeah,
Netflix,
yeah.
So, anyways, I think the new Toy Story, it looks good, but it doesn't look different. The only thing different is that I do like the little concept they have where she made her own toy and she's really attached to it, which is just made out of like broken popsicle sticks and like whatever that little spork and
And he becomes
little-
alive. Yeah.
I do like the idea. That's a little different. That's something we haven't seen before. Is she had this attachment to this thing that she made? You know what I mean? That's different than this other what we've seen, which is you just get toys and they become your friend. Like this is a thing that like it's her best friend is this thing that's not as good as these other things, but for some reason that's important to her, and it's a little bit of a different theme.
But I
Value
think
of a
the-
blankie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing
Yeah.
that makes it work is like you looking back in your childhood and you're like, oh, what things did I have like that I don't have anymore that I was
Yeah.
attached to? Is like I had like little McDonald's toys or whatever, or I remember 7-Eleven did this whole campaign with that movie The Phantom with what's
with
his
Billy
name?
Zane.
Billy Zane came out and they had like a Phantom ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
And,
that.
yeah, I
had
still
that.
have my
I had
ring
that,
actually.
yeah.
I still have it somewhere. I have to find it. But it was like a ring or whatever, and you could like, you would shoot light
Yeah.
or power or whatever the fuck it was out of the ring. Like, and it was like, as a kid, I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
that you had the ring from
Did you have the Batman Returns Happy Meal? The little ones.
I
little
might
cars?
actually have. I
I
might
had
have
those.
actually. I have some of that old stuff. Like I didn't throw it away, but a lot of stuff is gone. Like
Yeah.
I don't. There are things that I had as a kid that are
love.
gone that I
Dude,
that I
the,
love.
the
Yeah.
very first like rememberable toy that I fell in love with was because I used to be a huge fan of Thundercats. Like,
yeah.
it was when,
Thundercats.
I still remember going into toy stores.
Dude, Toys R
No,
Us,
Toys-
man.
it wasn't
like
Toys. It was KB Toy. It was
KB
KB,
Toys.
Toys.
Yeah.
It was
Dude.
KB Toys.
Yeah.
Fucking Toy
And I
stores,
went in there
man. Shit was
to
magic.
get my very first action figure from Thundercats.
Yeah.
Because I did good in school, whatever. And I bought Tigra.
yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, and you're able to pull the whip back, and the 3 balls would come back in,
Actually,
and you
you-
should man, I remember
awesome.
that. And you touch the back, and the eyes would light up, and it's like, this is amazing.
The thing that I was obsessed with was it was like Transformer cars. where it was
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
it was like a little car, and then you could like fold it apart
Yeah.
or whatever, but it would like roll. Like
Yeah.
when you put it back in car
Yeah.
position, it was like all the pieces would like I was just there. It was like one of those Rubik's Cube, but like with a fucking car turning into a
yeah.
robot, dude. But they weren't like they didn't call them Transformers. It was like just some transforming.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
thing.
about. They were.
was
They
like a
actually
line
were
of
called
shit.
something. They were, yeah.
And then the Pocket Rockers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fuck, when I got
What are
that,
you talking about?
Remember Micro
when
Machines?
electronics
Micro
came
Machines.
out.
Remember the
yeah.
commercials? The
Oh,
commercials?
God.
Yeah,
Micro.
Micro.
It was Eminem. Eminem's dad. That's what it was.
What?
Eminem's dad.
He
who
didn't
was
look anything like. Oh, because he's
you know,
fast.
he does, yeah, the
he goes
fast talking
yeah.
or whatever.
He was in an episode of Saved by the Bell.
Somebody got that
Remember, he
joke.
came out
Yep.
to their quiz.
Does he?
Yeah, and then they're writing
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
fast, he starts burning through the paper because he's giving them the questions really quick.
That's funny. Like that
We
guy's
just stepped
claim to
into the
fame
80s.
was
Thanks,
that.
Toy Story.
Yeah, like fast talking guy, and it reminds me of that. There's that actress who can like make her eyes pop out of her skull or whatever,
yeah.
and she's like in all those commercials, and you think it's like CG, and she can like really.
Real.
She does this thing where she can like push her
Yeah,
eyeballs
it's pretty
out.
nasty.
Yeah, she can't see now.
Is she blind now?
But this is what Toy Story does. Is it really does reconnect you to this point that was very significant to us for several years, but we're so far removed from it. It's not something we
Yeah.
think about it anymore. But that was very important to it.
How is
at
it?
a
I, mean,
point in
I
our
think
lives.
it's more. I think you might be able to have more of a connection to it because you have a kid. You know?
I do now.
And so it's
Yeah.
more. Yeah. So I think it's.
Yeah.
But to me, like I'm more excited to see a different version of Lion King because they're sticking to the classic story that I fell in
Yeah.
love with than I am in Toy Story 4.
right.
The sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I hope. I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I love Toy Story. I mean,
Grown
it's
men-
not the
grown
movie,
men were
it's just the
crying in
point.
Toy Story
We get the
3.
best of both worlds. We get remakes and sequels to beloved classics. So
Yeah.
we're getting like Lion King, Aladdin. I'm sure other shit's on the way
Yeah.
that I can't remember. But Dumbo just came out
Beauty and
not
the
that
Beast.
long ago. Beauty and the Beast. So like in Toy Story 4, like honestly, I remember people like protesting Toy Story 3 like online. People
Yeah.
are like, I can't believe you're making a sequel.
And grown men cried
Crazy
when that came out.
Yeah, and that movie came out and it like delivered.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe this will do the same too. I mean, it's being made by Pixar. It's not like some off-brand, back studio that Disney's got,
Waddy and Biz
all the
Light,
rejects.
Light Week.
Yeah.
It's being made by, so these guys, I don't know. I can't remember the last Pixar movie. I was like, it was garbage.
Well, Pixar
Yeah,
delivers.
they're good. Yeah,
They
they're
do.
good.
But here's the thing. What was the last thing that they have delivered? What was the last
well,
film?
Incredibles 2 came out. I didn't see it, and I do want
I
to see
saw
it.
it.
People liked it.
I really like the.
So this is
My
the thing.
daughter
It's-
liked it.
What's
Did you watch
upsetting
it?
me
No,
is
I
I
didn't.
want to see
It's
like
weird. I liked Incredibles. I don't know why I'm not motivated to
I
you
watch
need to
gotta
watch
watch
it. It was
sequel.
good. It was really
I'm
good.
gonna
It was
watch it.
really
I've been
good.
meaning
But
to
here's the
watch it.
thing.
Yeah.
Pixar was known for their incredible storylines coming out.
Yeah.
Like the university I went to, we actually partnered with Pixar, and the animation studio department and some of the production department was able to go and intern there and like see the studio
that's cool.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And like one of the things that they did was they did this where they grabbed ideas from everybody that worked there, and they threw a paper airplane off the top floor, and one person, whichever airplane they caught, was the idea that they would try to come
Oh, wow.
develop it. Yeah,
That's interesting.
So
That's
it
kinda
was
cool.
really cool.
I mean,
But
just
I
that
haven't
in
seen
itself
anything
is
new.
creative.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
but what has been creative out of Pixar lately?
didn't they come out with a sequel to Monsters Inc.?
What has been
You know what it is?
creative?
We're
That's
just
a
old,
remake.
dude. We're
That's
old.
a-
We're
yeah.
looking to, but we're not the audience
that's
for
what I'm
them.
saying.
I
Well,
think
what I'm
like
saying is that-
when they were in their high point or whatever, we were like, young. We were like, preteens, teenagers. That was like that's when they were coming out with like the last
new
movie
stuff,
that.
new thing.
I
Where
think
they
Wall-E
created
was the
new
last movie
things.
I went to the theater to see was Wall-E. I saw Wall-E.
But
in theaters.
recently,
because of all the
what
positive
have you had?
reviews. and
Coco.
everything.
you
I
had
haven't
Coco.
seen
You had
Coco.
Coco. You had
Yeah.
Coco, but
that was less than 2 years ago.
that was
a year
less-
and a half.
You
ago.
had Coco, but you have Cars.
Yeah,
redone.
Finding Dory.
Cars,
I
Finding
never-
Dory.
The Good Dinosaur. That was the.
Oh God, they did do a sequel to Finding Nemo. I haven't seen
Yeah,
any of these.
Finding
sequels.
Nemo.
Inside Out. They did Inside Out.
Inside Out. That was 4 years ago.
That was.
Was that the
4 or 5?
Emotions one?
That was almost 4 years ago.
Almost
yeah.
4 years
That was the
ago?
Emotion ones. That was really
was
creative and
actually
original. Yeah, I think they're still doing it. Those take several years each movie to make.
But that's what I want. Yeah, but that's
Their
what I
new one
want.
called Onward. It's coming out less than a year from now. It's called Onward.
Okay.
It's an upcoming American 3D computer animated. It's got Chris Pratt, Tom Holland, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Octavia Spencer, and the premise is set in a suburban fantasy world where humans do not exist, populated with elves, trolls, and sprites, where unicorns are as common as rodents. Two teenage elf brothers embark on a quest to discover if there is still magic in the world in order to spend a day with their father, who died when they were too young to remember him. It's gonna be original. It's interesting.
Sounds like the gnome.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just
No,
'cause it got
but
elves.
that's what I want.
It's actually the idea that like they're in a fantasy world that is no longer magic is like almost everywhere, so it doesn't feel like magic anymore. They're trying to find the magic in human interaction and experience and emotional connection.
Oh, they said they flipping.
They're flipping it.
He did the I investigate you.
Yeah. I reversed the investigation. I reversed the investigation. Yeah, like that's
So that's what I want. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want them to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Pixar was known for these incredible ideas. But now it's almost like there's more remakes or just do this with these films.
You know what I want to see? I want to see more Princess and the Frog movies. I want them to move
really
back
like
to just full
2D,
hand-drawn
2D
animation.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
I do
necessarily
want
even
to
have
see
to
that.
be hand-drawn. It can be whatever.
I want to
but
see
like,
every other film could be that.
I'm so... I don't know what it is. You know what it is? Once you start to get to a certain level of quality with 3D animation, you almost expect it to be realistic. It's like this weird... you were complaining about the Toy Story, the original.
Yeah.
I can watch that because I know I'm watching a fucking CG movie, and I'm not watching a movie trying to be real life.
Right.
And even Toy Story 3, like the leaps and bounds over that, like the quality of that, but it's like still not good enough. So it's like I don't know. What I'm
Okay,
watching.
you still look like you're an animated.
Yeah. Like you have, like there's all right. So there's these Resident Evil movies that get released in Japan that are like CG films, like full blown movies where it's like realistic looking. And like the most recent one I saw came out 2018. I want to say.
Yeah.
Like looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like you remember that Final Fantasy movie that came out in the United States that was like everybody hated on shit
was
on
like
because
that.
of Alec
I
Baldwin
love
or
that.
whatever. I like the movie Spirits Within.
It's
I thought it was an
incredible.
entertaining movie. These movies that come out now are like leaps and bounds above that as far as like
It's
realistic.
incredible.
The whole thing.
They
is
spend
like
I remember the whole story. They spent 40% of their CGI budget on her hair.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And now it's like they're able to take whatever
Nick's like, what the fuck you guys
technology and transition over to that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I just want to see news stories. I think it's easy for them to use and very budget friendly to use things that have been created so they don't have to recreate it or create something new because it takes less time. They can create. This is why I think Toy Story is super popular. We already have the characters basically.
We already know
done.
them. It's a built-in fan base.
It will be a totally profitable film.
Yeah.
Totally profitable
If this
film.
movie was like 2D animation, I'd be sold.
You know what's funny?
If they did
I
some
don't go out of my
crazy
way to
shit-
see these Pixar type movies or
I
any of these
don't.
3D.
And
I don't even have a desire to go. Now it doesn't mean I don't like them, and sometimes I'll end up seeing them, and that's why I will see Toy Story 4. But I don't. That's why I haven't seen Incredibles 2 yet. Like it's just not my go-to film. The thing is, if they were to release a 2D animated film that felt
I would
like
see it.
like a classic, even a goofy movie, like I would go see it. I just would. There's something
Yeah.
about these type of movies. Princess and the Frog blew me away.
I saw it in theaters
because I hadn't
and
seen it
yeah,
forever.
the music was great. Like it was like instant classic music.
Yeah,
like
first
you watched
Black
that.
Princess too. Like it was just, and it was that New Orleans like interesting like music and themes and stuff like that. I loved it.
The villain was great.
Yeah.
I forget who voiced it was. What's his name? From Riddick, I think. Right.
Keith David.
I want to say it was Keith David. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he did the voice in that. But the
I don't
movie
know.
was
Check
the
that
movie
out.
was really.
I don't remember. I remember it was good.
I
just
remember
don't
feeling throwback feelings too.
Yeah.
Like I
But
felt like
there
I
were
was
people that
watching-
were upset, and then I think most people were like, "This is
Yeah.
like they were glad that Disney went back to 2D
Right.
animation." Yeah.
Okay, so we have one more we have to cover. I'm really excited about this film. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They finally released a
What is
full
that?
trailer. So let me tell you about it, Diego. It's by this filmmaker. His name is Quentin Tarantino.
Does he do TV series?
Nope, he does movies exclusively.
What?
Yeah. He is
He does that bang bang shoot 'em up.
yes, he does a lot of bang bang shoot 'em ups, but every movie is very unique and different.
Yes.
So this one is his 9th film. It's interesting because it takes place in Hollywood in '69, and it's following this actor who's kind of washed up, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. It is Keith David.
Yeah.
Okay. It's following this actor who's kind of washed up. And it's his relationship with him and his stunt double, Brad Pitt plays
Brad
him,
Pitt.
and we got Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate, and we don't know exactly what's going on. But there's some sort of parallel to her whole story where she's rising, becoming a star. She unfortunately got brutally murdered when she was pregnant by the Manson family. So Charles Manson shows up in it. The Manson family, there's a shot in the new trailer where you hear Leonardo DiCaprio saying some line or Brad Pitt saying some line about, in a flash, everything could change. And it shows them walking through the night with a knife in their hands, the Manson family.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the idea is that he lives next door to Sharon Tate. So while his star is falling, right, he's like
Hers
a
is
washed
rising.
up old cowboy star, Western star. His star is falling, her star is rising.
Yeah.
And it's this sort of intersecting, interweaving storyline. And it's Tarantino. He doesn't do anything not unique. So it's going to be really interesting in the way the story's told. They got a 6-minute standing ovation.
He's
at
incredible
Cannes.
when he does period pieces.
Yeah.
He really is, and that's why
Even when he doesn't, Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs were not period pieces.
well, they were period pieces.
No,
at
they
the
were.
time.
They were modern. They were current day.
Were they?
Yeah, they were 92 and 94. They weren't. Then after Jackie Brown, he's actually done nothing but period
But
pieces.
I thought that wasn't Pulp Fiction was set in the 60s.
No.
No,
it was modern day.
Yeah, it's
Was
modern.
Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction were both modern day, and then Jackie Brown was modern day. They had 70s stylistic things because
Yeah.
that's the movies he's influenced by, and he kind of pays homage to. Actually, Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2 wasn't.
Yeah.
There was
That's
one
true,
period
yeah.
piece. Those were modern as well.
Yeah.
And then he went into Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, now Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, all period pieces. All
Yeah.
different, too.
Yeah, I just Quentin Tarantino. I don't think he's that great. That's why.
I cannot.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
With you.
I'm just
This is like
joking.
Didn't we do a whole
flashback to
episode
earlier
yeah, we
about
did.
episode.
this?
That's why I
Where,
brought
like,
that up. And
why,
he was like,
why
so.
Quentin Tarantino is a master director,
Yeah.
and you were like, nah. And you were even like, nah.
No, I never said no. No.
Yeah, both of you guys said
we
no.
need to
Yeah.
reverse that.
Yeah.
Reverse one.
Thank you.
Had Hateful Eight come out at that point?
Because I
No,
had
I don't
talked
think
about
so.
how
Maybe it did.
I don't know. For some reason, I like Django Unchained. I liked Inglourious Bastards,
Yeah.
but I love Hateful Eight for
I
some
know.
reation. Like I love.
It's
I don't know.
great.
It's like
I
westerns.
love
have grown
Inglorious
on me.
Bastards.
Yeah.
I really
Inglourious
do.
Basterds was so.
A lot of people love that
movie.
movie, and I'm like, it's all right.
That opening scene with
Still-
Christoph Waltz.
That is a great scene, but
Oof.
that's Tarantino. Like those, that's like Reservoir Dogs. The
It's
opening
milk.
scene of that. That's
He's
the
talking
opening
about
of.
fucking milk the whole time.
The
But even
subtext.
Death Proof has an
crazy.
opening like that. Like Death Proof opens that way. And
Yeah.
Kill Bill doesn't open that way. Django
No, it
doesn't open
doesn't.
that way. No,
Kill
he
Bill
he
doesn't.
doesn't. He's good. I don't think he repeats himself
Dude,
either. Like honestly.
So this actor, Damian
Lewis,
Lewis,
yeah.
he's gonna play Steve McQueen.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
wow.
He looks
Yeah.
like him
I like
actually
him.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I like
Homeland.
his show Millionaire.
And Homeland. Oh yeah, Millionaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw. Anyway, it's just funny because I watched Steve McQueen and Papillon.
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
on
the
TV.
original.
Papillon was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that movie didn't get a lot of
I
viewing.
still watch
You talking about the new one?
random
Yeah.
Talking about the
TV
original
stuff.
one,
Do you
yeah.
guys watch random TV, or you're like directed TV? Like
No,
you
I
pick
watched a
what
bunch
you
of stuff.
watch.
I don't.
Pluto.
I don't like.
No, but do you just turn it on and whatever's on you watch?
No, I
So
don't do that anymore.
here's the cool thing.
I don't like doing
I
that.
Here's
know
the
a lot of people don't. I do.
I did for the longest time with HBO and stuff like that, but now I have DirecTV now, and it's a little bit just different. I used to have all the movie channels right there, and I would turn on the TV, and all I do is go to the movie channels.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
Here's the cool thing. I have
don't like picking up
Sling,
movies
and I
in the
have
middle anyway.
like international packages.
yeah.
And I love how some of these international packages play old films.
Yeah, yeah.
They play old. It's like you're watching TV back in like when you were younger, and it makes me feel like great. Like I will go to like Sony has a channel.
Yeah.
And they'll play old films. And
Yeah.
it's incredible, and it has the subtitles on there, but it's in English. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're playing the first Terminator. They're playing this, and it's great.
So like randomly, I've
We are
come
so
home
off
and there have been the TV's like always on at my house. So like what the hell is it? Miami Vice, which I watched a little bit as a kid and was
The
familiar
movie or
with.
the show?
The TV show
Yeah.
with Don Johnson. So this episode came on like at midnight or
Tubs.
something, and Bruce Willis was in it, and he played a psycho, like beating his wife and like drug dealer, like selling weapons. Or no, what? Not drug dealer. It was
Pre-Die Hard.
arms.
Die
Arms
Hard.
dealer. He was psycho, but he played like the bad guy,
Yeah.
and he's just like
I
he
used to
beat the
watch that
shit out
show
of his
a lot.
wife in this.
I used to
thing.
watch it, yeah.
I was like, damn, Bruce Willis is psycho.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, and it was like pre-Die Hard. He had like a full head of hair and shit. I mean, like
I
more
used to
hair.
watch that.
But,
I used to watch his show. What
Like I
was it
never
called?
would have known Bruce Willis was on
Moonlighting.
that
Moonlighting.
show.
That's right.
I never would have known that like he was on this TV show.
Do you remember the movie
if I
Blind
had,
Date
you know.
with
Yeah.
Kim Basinger and Bruce
Kim
Willis?
yeah.
Okay, we're a little off
I just
topic,
literally
but we're in
copied
the
what you said.
nostalgia thing. We're talking about nostalgia,
Yeah.
which is what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is doing. But
We really don't know a lot about it, though.
We don't, but we do. That's the whole thing.
But we knew all that
You never know.
before the trailers ever came
We
out.
know the
Tarantino's
story.
trailers are like his movies. Like they're kind of like very artistic, like ba 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 ba, and you don't really know until you see the movie. I like that though. I like a trailer to make me go, "Ooh, this might be really interesting. Let's go see this," and then see what the movie is. You know what I mean? I'd rather that.
Hateful Eight. I hadn't like the trailer looked interesting, but it really doesn't communicate anything about the movie.
Right. It's like a murder on
But
the
you know the
Orient
story.
Express.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
slash,
basically like that.
you know,
yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Even a little bit of the thing. Okay, but why, Diego? You were saying
The
you were
Thing?
gonna. Yeah, it's got the Thing influences. He even said it. He used
Oh,
part of the
yeah.
unused score.
Where they're like trapped. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Ennio
trapped in the
Morricone.
snow. Yeah,
Morricone,
and Kurt Russell's even in it. By the way, I was watching Backdraft the other day. Kurt Russell and Jennifer Jason Leigh are in that movie, and they're also in Hateful Eight together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're both in Backdraft.
Wow.
But you were saying you're not too excited about the movie, Diego.
Yeah, I'm not into it yet.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Is it because you're not a Tarantino fan? Or you
No,
are?
it's not. It's not even. It's nothing to do with Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
I think his films are incredible. I think his style is so unique, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just not.
You don't
into
know
it.
anything about like you.
I
Feel
know.
like
I
you
know.
don't-
I know about it. I watched the trailer. I read some articles on it a little bit ago. About a month and a half ago. But I'm just not excited. I think it's just because lately I've been into more independent. I'm always more into independent films and very unique and untold stories.
Yeah,
And so
that's a unique untold story.
it is, but I don't.
original.
I think it's because all these Hollywood actors are in it for some reason.
Oh, I get it.
I don't know.
No, I'm looking at the cast.
Some of the
now,
good
like,
ones though.
I love that.
Yeah, no, they're the good. Like I
Kurt
love.
Russell, DiCaprio.
I
Pitt.
love the
Margot
the
Robbie.
crapio.
Wow.
Wow.
Cap you, yo.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
that
the
like
crappy.
Zoe Bell is in it and Bruce Stern and Michael Madsen, like the whole cast
Yeah.
of like Hateful Eight is like back in this movie. I wonder if Jennifer Jason Leigh's gonna show up. She's not showing up on IMDb, but
Michael Madsen's not in Hateful
I gotta
Eight.
pull. I
Michael
think.
Madsen's
I think
in
my
it. Look,
reason
he's
is.
listed
No,
right
is he in
here.
Hateful Eight?
Michael Madsen, what are you talking about? Yeah,
I'm forgetting. Which one
he's
is
the
he?
guy. He's the guy who's sitting there peeling the apple
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
okay, yeah, totally. Makes
He
sense.
doesn't say
I
a
think
lot
this
in the
explains
movie, yeah.
how I feel this way. There's been so many films and series lately that have lasted so long.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the same people over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Not that they were bad.
Yeah.
That I am looking for new things that had new faces and new, just all out new.
Okay.
And just to see all that, those Brad Pitt, all of them back in this film, I'm not excited to see Brad Pitt again and all these people.
Wow.
I haven't
And
seen
it's
Brad
not that-
Pitt
and-
in
but
a while.
please,
Like, what was the
that's
last movie
not-
he did?
Yeah.
That's not to say that
12 years a slave. 12 years
Yeah,
a
it was a
slave.
few years
Yeah,
ago.
and that's not to say that it's not that I'm not gonna watch it. It's not gonna be good or whatever. I'm just like I'm trying to get new stuff in me. I'm like even with Marvel, it's been such
What
a
if
journey with
Celeste-
Marvel, just such a journey with like Game of Thrones, such a journey. The same people. I'm trying to get new.
What if
souls in
Sylvester
my
Stallone
life.
was in this movie?
I'm all up in it.
I know. see?
all up in it.
We need to call Tarantino and have him add
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
He
so
would do that
Diego
too.
feels
He would
for
put
it.
Sylvester Stallone in one of his movies.
Oh
It's just
yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
kind-
Why not?
Yeah.
If it made sense for that time period
yeah.
or whatever, if
So-
they could like work it in.
Does this movie excite you? You want to see this movie?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, the time period. I don't know for some that like Hollywood 1969. That time period doesn't particularly excite me.
Drive
But
you
but
right.
Tarantino as a director and a writer and
You know that he'll deliver.
DiCaprio.
something. Yeah.
I mean,
Entertaining.
I've never. I feel like Brad Pitt was like a really good actor in the beginning, and then became less of a good actor as he got older for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like he kind of like what's it called? When they
Phone
just
it in?
Yeah, like I feel like he phones in a lot of his performances now, and I don't know. Maybe
DiCaprio?
that's wrong.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Brad Pitt.
I don't feel that.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
DiCaprio, I feel like is
definitely
still
not.
rising.
It's
like
insane.
he has. I feel like he hasn't peaked.
I
He
feel
won't
that-
ever.
I
I
feel-
don't think he's.
I don't know
incredible.
because he just.
I feel that
he
he's
takes
an
it too
underrated
serious.
actor. I
Yeah,
feel DiCaprio
like when you
is an
see him
underrated
deliver in that teaser or whatever, the trailer, like deliver that shit line and then go back to his trailer. I like that's him in real life.
He's like whacking the thing.
Yeah, he's like losing his fucking he's like I can't believe you did that. You must like he's beat himself up if he doesn't like push himself as an actor. I just feel like that's how he is.
Like,
as an
after
actor. Like,
watching,
he
I'd
really.
put
what's
him
his-
in my top 5. The guy literally delivers
Yeah.
every fucking time.
what was
Yeah.
this film?
Revenant.
which he finally won the Oscar for.
Like, fine. I was like, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if this guy did not get the Oscar for
You're
that,
gonna give it to the bear.
I don't think he would ever gotten an Oscar because that was like he was.
I don't know. Maybe he'll get
Yeah.
one for this. We don't know. He could. This
I
could
hope
be
he does
an
because he
incredible
needs to
performance.
win more because he's been nominated now, I think, 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he won only once. And he literally, when he won Revenant the Revenant, everybody was like, he's basically winning for all those times he didn't win because all of those times
And he gave
were
like
incredible.
the greatest speech too.
It was a great
Like
speech.
his speech wasn't even about the award or
He
his
didn't
vanity.
read off a piece of paper.
He's like talking about global warming and like we need to like.
It wasn't
switch
about
to,
him. That
like,
was the thing.
Free,
Yeah.
or
Environment,
whatever,
yeah.
like new, like clean energy. And I'm like, what the
And
fuck?
he delivered it beautifully.
Good
Didn't
for
have
you,
Didn't have a
man.
piece of paper out. It was
Yeah,
just
like he's like, I've had this
It wasn't
rehearsed
about-
for
yeah.
like 20 years or whatever. Like I got this.
That was so awesome because he took the attention off of him and he like went to try like.
I like that.
That
That's
is a
class.
guy
That's
defying.
class,
That is a
dude.
guy defying your expectations too, because you
Although-
saw him early on. You're like, he's a pretty boy, whatever.
When you see those photos of him on the beach with like 40 topless ladies, you're like,
Yeah.
what's up with DiCaprio?
Dumping toxic waste into the ocean. That's not true.
I didn't like him till after Blood Diamond.
Okay.
I knew he.
That's
did
where he
great in
really
I
films.
liked him. I thought Romeo and Juliet, he was great.
Yeah.
No, I think he did
There's a
great in
moment in
films,
that
but I
film
was
where I
never
was like,
really
this
into him.
guy's going places.
So it's funny because
this guy from Growing Pains.
I saw Basketball Diaries in theaters. Have
I've
you guys
never
ever seen
seen
that
that.
movie? This
No.
is pre-Titanic. Yo. He's playing. He's a real guy, Jim. I forget his name, but he's a heroin addict, a 16-year-old heroin addict in New York back in the 60s, 50s/60s.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and he's incredible in it. There are some intense, oh my god, agonizing scenes in that film. The guy also did This Boy's Life with De Niro earlier. Like he was killing. He's been
Titanic.
killing it.
Yeah, Titanic, he was young as shit, yeah.
Then you tried to go, oh, Titanic's a great movie. And he's great in it.
He's fantastic.
Where's the
in that
film where
movie.
he played the kid that was autistic long time?
Oh yeah, What's Eating
What's
Gilbert
Eating
Grape?
Gilbert
That was
Grape,
his
yeah.
first Oscar
Yeah.
nomination.
Yeah.
Like, he's
He was
always
great in that.
been killing it. There's this thing where they were trying to brand him as this hot hunk 17 sexiest man alive thing, and that's never been his niche. He never did that. They tried to get him to be Robin in Batman Forever.
Well, they did that to
He
Johnny
is
Depp,
now.
and Johnny Depp is like every movie he's done up until Jack Sparrow has been like a completely different
Offbeat,
character.
yeah,
Like
and-
weird,
yeah.
crazy characters.
And
yeah.
DiCaprio
I
has
just
been done the
recently
same
saw
thing and
Sweeney
linked up.
Todd.
There you
Yeah.
go. But DiCaprio then linked up with Scorsese, and then it was like Aviator, fucking. He's Howard Hughes. Have you seen that movie? He's
Yeah.
crazy, pissing in jars.
Dude,
he's fucking doing that. He's doing The Departed.
The one I'm thinking of with the gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York,
Oh my
yeah.
god,
Crazy,
get out of
crazy
here!
that fucking movie.
Get out of here! That movie's so good. He did Blood Diamond, like you were
Blood
saying.
Diamond.
Incredible.
Blood
The Departed,
Diamond.
Man in the Mask.
Inception.
Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah, that was behind Man.
He played the two parts.
Even
Man in the Iron
Inception, like I mean, I'm not saying even Inception, but that's a great movie.
Yes.
But like his nuanced character with his,
Yeah, with his
wife,
wife
and
when she
like
jumps
all
off
those
the
moments
thing.
and that moment at the end.
He's
and,
a strong actor. And I
Wolf
don't
of
think-
Wall Street. Come on.
oh yeah,
He's
That-
never really.
that blew me away.
That's the thing. That's what I don't like. That nobody has really given
Django.
him the respect of.
Well, no, they
him
did.
being a strong.
That
actor.
was, you know.
till.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the Golden Globes I think recognized him multiple times.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
Django
until...
Unchained. How about his Calvin Candy in
Yeah.
Django Unchained?
Yeah. Oh God.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
He was crazy.
It doesn't stop with the guy. Like that's why I'm like, that's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's the main guy.
I
And I'm
remember
like,
when he like smashes his
br-
hand,
cut
and
his
he
hand.
cut his hand open for realsies,
Smears it on her
and
face.
then just kept, he just kept going with the scene or whatever, even though he like fucked his hand
it's a
up.
real actor. This is a multimillionaire that doesn't need to do this. He could phone it in for
But
the
you know,
rest of his life and be
Tarantino was
fine.
like, "All right, I want you to smash your hand for real, like fuck you shit up, and then use that energy to like deliver the scene."
I feel like people don't need to tell him that. Like he knows he's in there pitching. I get the idea that
Yeah.
he's very collaborative. He's really trying to make the greatest movie he can with you.
He's that's the difference between somebody that is passionate about what they do.
Yeah. And not. And some people are just done and tired with it. And he's not. He's still going, you know?
I mean, there's
but
still a lot of people that are like passionate about filmmaking, but
There are.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have like I love De Niro, love Pacino. Those are two of my favorite actors of all time. But even now, they're not still doing that like they used to be. Like they used to be
Dude,
fucking
we still,
putting it all
man,
in.
slow your roll. We got Irishman coming out.
I
so
know.
Joe Pesci's back. That's what I'm most excited
can't-
for.
that
is
is
Joe
one of my-
fucking Pesci.
Yes.
See his
Yeah.
old
Joe
ass. When I
fucking
saw him in that Google trailer, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I remember. I fucking
Yeah.
love Joe Pesci. Like, where the
Love
fuck you
Joe
been?
Pesci.
Yeah.
Love Joe
Stopped
Pesci.
acting.
But DiCaprio, that's one of the reasons I'm really excited about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Okay, it's because DiCaprio is the main star. and this is the guy. This is the guy. I'll watch him in anything. Any movie he's coming out with, I'm in the theaters and I'm watching it. And I'm a huge Tarantino fan. And the last time they connected up was Django Unchained, which was incredible.
Yeah.
So
I think it's gonna be great.
I love the Bruce Lee thing.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be great, but I think you guys might be hating me because I might be like the Inception guy.
You know what I like about Tarantino
The
films
guy
is
who-
like his like you can walk out of a Tarantino film and it's like I don't know, he does this thing
It's
where
new.
he like plays with things and he plays with your expectations so you like don't fall into some weird trap of like how you're supposed to react to a certain type of film. And when you walk into a Tarantino film, it's like it's just so different. Like we're
so
watching.
entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, we're
films
watching
is-
Hateful Eight, and there's this scene where Samuel Jackson's like taunting Bruce Dern, and he does this whole, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like this is insane, but it's like so different than what you expect.
This
to
film is
see.
so anti-Hollywood.
Yeah.
All
I
his
like it.
stuff,
Like
all
if they're
his
all,
films.
and it not necessarily
His
that they're
homage-
feel good, but
No.
because
They're
they usually get crazy.
They're really
at the end,
entertaining. They're
and they get
always
real violent.
Yeah, entertainment
takes the
is
violence to
entertainment is
another
at
level.
the forefront of those films.
I want to see him win an Oscar or something, and be like, "I've never needed this."
Yeah, I've never needed this.
he not
He's
won?
won. He's won for
Oh,
writing.
yeah.
He wrote won for writing.
He needs directing. He needs to win.
Romance?
Django or
Yeah.
Hateful Django, I think it was.
He needs to win for directing.
He does because the thing
He
is,
does. He's
he
incredible
gets his
director.
bad
Never won
rap
for
But I want him.
for directing.
No, he's never had. I don't think he's ever
He
had
gets a
that.
bad rap for.
I don't think he's been. Has he even been nominated?
I'd be surprised if he.
Yeah, I think he has been
Probably Pulp
nominated.
Fiction. He's
Yeah,
won
at
2
least.
Oscars: writing Django Unchained and writing Pulp Fiction. He's
needs-
been nominated for Best Director for Pulp Fiction and for Inglourious Bastards. Yeah.
He needs to.
But he only won for Django script and Pulp Fiction.
that's
I know
like-
Hateful Eight won.
That's
the
like
music
saying-
one.
No, it didn't.
Didn't it win? I thought, or maybe he won like he
Oh,
got
well,
like
actually,
an.
no, maybe you're right because I'm just looking at his thing. Yeah, maybe it did.
I feel like
But
the
that's
Ennio,
like
'cause
saying,
he was,
yeah,
like,
we don't
super
want to
old.
give you the highest award. We're just gonna give you this, just so you know that we thought about you. He needs to win a fucking director's, like,
I don't know, man.
best
Hollywood
director,
is
best
weird.
film of the year, and then he
Yeah,
needs
you're right,
to get
it
up
did
there
win.
and say,
It did?
Hateful Eight won.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
For-
Yeah, the
He
music
won
is
what?
incredible in
For-
Hateful
for music?
Eight.
For music,
Yeah.
Ennio Morricone. Yeah,
He did like the original Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
it's his
all
only
the spaghetti
Oscar.
westerns.
They
It's
should've
his
won
only
for
Oscar was for Hateful Eight.
Yeah, because he's
They
like
should've won
100
for
years old. Like he
cinematography
was like
also.
90 something and came out of retirement to do
Yeah.
the score.
they should have he should have won for cinematography too, because they like use
Oh my
one
God.
fucking lens
I know.
throughout
Yeah.
the whole film.
Oh, that's great,
That
and it's an
movie
old
looks
lens. Yeah.
incredible.
Old lens, yeah.
But the thing is that Tarantino gets a bad rap because a lot of his stuff is like homages to older stuff. So
Yeah.
people will be like, it's not original. I'm like, no, I fucking beg to goddamn differ. Like it is. Yes, he borrows from these various things and is influenced by, but they are
Everybody
entirely
does, yeah.
unique stories. They're done in a way which elevates the genres that he's in. It's like saying that hip hop's not original because they sample music and they remix. They remix
Yeah.
music and they use beats and they loop them. And that's not the same thing. It's a completely different musical style that just used something else
Yeah.
to remix. But if it's so easy, then why isn't everybody else doing what he's doing? He's got that market and nobody else is doing it like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Anyways, I'm really excited about that movie. It's in the top for this year. I don't remember if the Irishman's coming out this year. I think it's supposed to.
It's supposed
so.
to be towards the
Yeah,
end. That's fine.
Irishman, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Those two are definitely in Terminator Dark
I didn't
Fate.
even know that Al
Or
Pacino
Mike.
was in this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's cool. I'm
yeah,
excited
it is.
for it.
Yeah, like an agent type or studio type. Yeah,
Well, let's see what happens.
yeah,
I'm not sure that.
yeah.
And Star Wars.
It got a 6-minute standing ovation.
See, I'm done with Star Wars.
What?
Oh yeah, and Star Wars. yeah.
Done? You're done?
No, I'm watching Star Wars.
Why are you done? That
just-
trailer, dude. J.J. Abrams hasn't failed us yet.
I know.
J.J. Abrams.
I'm just-
look at all the movies
Look,
he's directed
no,
and
he's a
ask
man-
yourself.
No.
Diego's
Did
a
any
man
of
on
these
his
suck?
last legs. He's like literally going to drink himself to death. Look at this
Right
guy.
now, I'm done with Star Wars. When it comes out, I will go watch it because I love J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
That's the only reason
I
I'm
need-
watching it,
It's
honestly,
kind of like
JJ.
you want to give yourself a break from things, so when you go into it, you don't go with a worn out mentality, and that's what
I
I'm
haven't
doing.
watched any Star Wars anything.
There's just
Have
been
I? No.
there's been a lot of last 3 years. There's been a lot of Star Wars.
No, but I mean, I watched Last Jedi. I watched that once in theaters.
Solo.
I still haven't rewatched it. I watched Solo once in theaters. I don't want to you're right. I don't want to feel oversaturated with
right.
Star Wars shit. So
This is what I'm saying. It's
The
just
more
been too
time in
much-
between, the better.
There's been too much of the same things, whether it's just same actors or the same storylines and stuff like that. I just want to, real quick, take a break from that and just go into very clear things, unseen, new actors, give people opportunities and things like that. So I'm just trying to. I will watch Star Wars when it comes out.
You'll see it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, by the way, 6-minute standing ovation at Cannes.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's what got me excited.
Yeah, there was this bullshit thing saying that he snapped at some reporter for a question about this, not giving Sharon Tate or Margot Robbie enough lines in it, and he didn't.
That's such a weird question.
If you see that headline, I'm just gonna say it straight up. If you see that headline, if you get wind of that, it's bullshit. Go watch the video. The person does a 1-minute long, basically critical question, and finally then says, "So how come this
They
great
do
actress
put
didn't
you
have
in the
more
corner
lines?"
question,
He just goes, he leans into the mic and he goes, "I reject your hypothesis," and that's it. That's it. He just says, "I reject your hypothesis." That's all he says. He doesn't say it meanly. He just shows that's a ridiculous thing. That is ridiculous that you think a person needs to have lines in order to be considered an actress. And Margot Robbie even kind of took a little offense, and then she explained, no, it was an exercise as an actor to be on screen that much and not have a lot of lines.
It's not even.
It's like saying silent films aren't fucking actors.
No, but it's not that. It's like it would be
It's
like
just somebody trying to
asking
get a reaction
Spielberg,
so they can get a trending thing.
Why didn't the
exactly
Velociraptor
what
have
it
more screens?
Yeah, they're
I
trying
don't
to
know.
make an
It's
issue.
just
And this is a
so
guy who's
crazy.
written strong women, main character women,
But it's like
fantastically
one-sided.
complex. Yeah,
It's one-sided.
It's a ridiculous question, is what it is, and there could be some thoughtful, real critiques and real questions, and that just wasn't one of them. It did seem like somebody who was clout chasing.
But so you're a filmmaker. You write your own films. You direct your own films. You cast your own films, and you make a film, and then some critic or journalist comes to you and he's like, "How come you don't have more? People from this country, or you know what I mean? These are," and it's like, well, did you make the fucking movie?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck? What kind of question is that?
Also, it could be a better
just a
question
weird
than
question.
what she was trying to get at, which is, I can't believe you're basically you hate not you hate women, but it was sort of like it was like a knock against women, him not giving her more lines. It was like, that's ridiculous. Like, this is the guy who did Kill Bill.
You need to not release this movie because you haven't balanced how much male and female
this is the Kill Bill
on
guy.
screen time.
You know
there
what I mean?
is.
This is
Made
the
one
guy
of the
who's
strongest female character.
Two films.
Yeah.
Two films.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all his other films have it. Glorious Bastards, you had that French, you have all those.
Although she
characters
came
in there.
out, what's her name came out and said some shit about.
No, but
what's
then
his name, he tried to kill her or something.
Yeah, but that was very much clear. We talked about this before.
We
That
talked about
was more. There was more complex.
I
than
like
that.
how we're using that as the go-to, and then Uma Thurman came out and was like, "Tarantino trying to kill me, making that fucking movie, but fuck that motherfucker."
No, but they did squash it. That was very clearly more than what people were trying to do. Yeah, he was the one that helped her get the footage. He went and found that footage so that she could release it and be like, "This is what happened to me." He went was trying to make it right and was basically completely I fucked up. He had got in that car first to test it.
Yeah,
He's he put himself in that
car,
car
fucked up or something.
He went down. Basically, he got in the car. He did the route himself first to make sure it was fine.
Yeah.
Then he was like, "Okay, let's do it." But then before they started, the DP was like, "Listen, the sun's setting this way. I think we should do it the opposite direction. Same path, just opposite direction." He's like, "Okay." And they had her do it, and she lost control and hit the thing. And that fucking sucks, and that's shitty. But it's not like he was like, fucking, And then they're like, "Oh, and he spit on her later." And he's like, "Should I ask some other random person to spit on her? Or should I take this into my own hands and feel like this is safe? We have a relationship. We talked about it. She was okay with it. And then I did it. Or should I?" And then when there's a choking scene, it's like, should I have just some other random nobody? Oh, this first AD. Go in there and choke my actress for me. Or it's like, okay, we'll fake choke it. I'll help you. You know what I mean? We'll do this. We are friends. We've been friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. You just start to put other significances into it and try to read into it because he has an abrasive personality in interviews.
Yeah.
They're like, he's a dick and he hurts women. It's like, that's ridiculous. He fake choked a woman himself in a
Like
movie.
I said,
Yeah.
consensually.
meat is the devil.
Oh, consensual choking.
People's
That's the
minds
best.
as
Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, if that's for whatever reason these stupid headlines are going to try and stop you from seeing the movie, they're bullshit. You should read further into it, look at them, make your own thing.
No.
I think it's bullshit. If you think so, too, don't think so, then
I don't
that's
think
fine
it's
too.
going to stop anyone.
But
from
anyways,
doing
I really
anything.
can't wait for the fucking movie. And that Bruce Lee thing looks fucking awesome. That guy playing Bruce Lee, it showed
Yeah,
in
it
an
does look
earlier
pretty cool,
teaser.
yeah.
It looked like he fucking killed it.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah,
for
man.
this. Although there's two other films I am excited
Well,
for.
let's see what happens. No.
No. Let me just drop these two.
No.
Just say the names. Just say the names also.
No.
Guy Ritchie is doing another Sherlock Holmes movie with what's his name?
Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. And then
Gemini Man.
no, the Hercule Poirot, like the Murder on the Orient Express. What's his name? Kenneth Branagh is doing a sequel to that movie.
Like
it's
the
called,
Abigail.
it's like Murder on the Nile.
Oh wow!
So I'm
Neil, do me a
excited for
favor.
those two. I'm actually more excited for than like
And
anything.
Gemini Man.
Do me a favor,
Gemini
Neil.
Man.
And Gemini
Do me a
Man
favor.
with Will Smith, yeah. Only because it's
Today,
Ang Lee
sometime
directing.
today.
And Ang
And
Lee,
he looks
I
like
love,
Fresh Prince versus
I
old
love
Will
Crouching
Smith.
Tiger, Hidden
Listen
Dragon.
real quick.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Listen real
Lots
quick.
of time.
Sometime today, start a podcast called The After. And
That's
then,
true. We
because
should-
you start.
the
You
leftovers.
start
end.
talking.
I know
Like,
we should
I
end
look
it and then continue talking for
I
another
look at
30
the fucking,
minutes.
The
it's like-
leftovers. We call it the leftovers.
I should just
Leftovers.
randomly
That's a good idea.
start
Actually, we
recording.
should do that. We should do a leftover.
I should just randomly start recording at a point because I know it's a halfway, and you'll start talking halfway.
Yeah, we
and
should
then we'll
end it
get you-
halfway and then we'll just keep going.
No, I'm never gonna say you're gonna end because if I say you're ending, you'll start.
Well, this is
That's
the
my
problem.
whole point.
Look at how much coffee I drank, man. Dude, I'm wired.
yeah,
I
you
can't
should have
help it.
drank that an hour ago.
My mind is on fire.
What you do is you put laxatives in that, and then he'll be having to fucking
Oh,
shit
that's
himself.
true. Then I'll be
20
like,
minutes
I got-
in.
This is
gotta
the
go,
whole
I gotta
thing.
go.
Every time it's hilarious. Like
Fire
I
in the
know.
hole.
I've been waiting to say that. I stored it right here, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait till the end. And then
Woof.
I'm gonna
We
drop
did it
that
though.
out.
Those are three. I mean, two of those were big topics to talk about. Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time, Hollywood, and Terminator. So
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happened when they come out. Let's see the trending talks that social
right?
media is
Soon.
gonna.
Do we know when?
Yeah.
Soon.
we probably should have release dates. People fucking have phones. People have phones.
Y'all motherfuckers can
Terminator
figure it
is
out.
later. Terminator is
September or something, right? Or it's like later in the year.
Yeah, Terminator is later this year. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the next one coming out. Terminator is coming out November 1st. Yeah, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is July 26th, which is the nearest one. And then you have
then we have
no,
Joker.
actually, holy shit, Toy Story 4 is June 20th. That's coming out in a few
Oh,
weeks.
wow.
God, I feel like I didn't get any trailer until
Did they just
now.
drop that trailer? No,
Yeah.
there was a teaser or something.
was a
'cause I remember
teaser.
that.
Oh,
like,
that is right, the
spoon
Keanu
sport
Reeves.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. My name is Tiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm No Carson.
Why the hell you have to start every time we end? Why
Actually-
can't you just start?
Actually,
How you
Joker.
lie.
Joker is
You can't
coming
be-
out too.
Oh my God, what are we talking about? That's top of the list.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.